Hi. So this is a $250 Soprano, brand new, purchased on eBay from a dealer in Brooklyn, New York. I got it in 2 days. I'll put the seller's information in the notes down below. It's a solid horn. It's made fairly well. One advisory. Up here, there's two necks with it, a curved one and a straight one. And the curved one's more comfortable for me. They sound about the same. The curved one just puts my hands in a more comfortable position, rather than having the horn straight out. It puts my thumb at a crooked angle and it hurts. This is more comfortable. Where the neck attaches, there's a screw and tension arrangement. If you over tighten this will close permanently tight, making the neck very hard to remove. And if you continuously yank on the neck, you will break the solder brazed welded joint here on the tenon. So what I actually did was I took a screwdriver and just loosened this up a little bit so it's nice and loose, and I can slip the neck on and off very, very easily. And then I only tighten it just enough to make sure that the neck is secure. That's it. Don't tighten it any more than that, or you will have problems and you'll damage your horn, guaranteed. I've only had the horn a few hours. This is the stock mouthpiece and the stock reed that came with it. It's a 2.5. The mouthpiece is fair. It's got a very high baffle in it, which emphasizes the upper partials, makes the horn sound very bright. It also makes the lower register harder to play. So I'm going to be changing mouthpieces, but this mouthpiece isn't bad, and I can play it, and you're going to see that in a moment. The brand on the horn is Opus. It says Opus USA, but I'm fairly certain the horn itself is made in China. I couldn't find much online. A few people made some very derisive comments about Chinese instruments in general. I had always avoided them. I took a chance this summer on a mouthpiece that actually played really well, and so I thought I might take a chance on one of these Sopranos, and I'm glad I did, because it's pretty nice. A lot of people have talked about tuning. Here's the thing about tuning. You don't have an instrument that's in tune or out of tune. You have a musician who's in tune or out of tune. And one instrument will be easier to play in tune than another instrument. In other words, across the octaves, across the different registers, range of the horn, it will be more or less in tune with itself from horn to horn. So more expensive horns tend to be more in tune with themselves. It's really the player who has to listen and adjust and play in tune. If a player can't play in tune and hasn't learned to listen and recognize if they're in tune or out of tune, no horn will play in tune. And if they're not used to playing soprano, where everything is multiplied times 100, pitch adjustments, jaw adjustments, air adjustments will change the pitch dramatically. You have to listen and play in tune. Pushing the mouthpiece in or out may change the tuning of a certain note by a certain amount. It's going to change the tuning on other notes by different amounts. So you want to find the place on the horn where the whole horn is more or less in tune with itself. And the best way to do that is usually, first of all, to make sure that your embouchure is correct, and you're breathing properly, and you know how to play the horn. And then have a stable pitch reference. I have an A440 file on my laptop it's just looping, and I'm just going to play that. So that's A. Now I'm not going to necessarily tune a B, but I'm going to play around it and just make sure that I'm in the range is in tune with itself, that the tonal center of the whole horn matches that A as closely as I can. You can see I'm adjusting as I'm playing. So I might just change a wee bit. Don't play into a tuner and look at a meter. Please don't do that. Have something that generates a tone, a good, loud, clear sine wave, an A or whatever, and then play the horn around that and make sure that you're matching that pitch, that center, matching that tonal center. When you play around the horn, you'll hear if your tendency is to be sharp or to be flat, and then you can adjust based on that. Don't tune one note and then expect the whole horn to be in tune. It doesn't work that way. There's my A. You think I'm close? Who plays the horn in tune. It's not the horn, it's the player. So I think this horn sounds pretty good for $250. Sweet deal.